What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're full former signature moves Pokemon team. Animalia, this one is for you. This team is all based around Pokemon who once had a signature move, however, other Pokemon learned it by other means in the future. In this example, we got Golospod with First Impression and all these other Pokemon getting that move. If you do want your own custom theme team or Pokemon sweep, you can check me out at patreon.com/PeepLine, tier 2 and above. Today I've got a singles battle and I've got a doubles battle for your entertainment. There were a couple of doubles moves here that I want to try out too. Now with this team, right, I put one signature move or former signature move on every Pokemon and I put 3 other status moves on there to try and come up with a interesting strategy for each move. It was a pretty difficult team to use, but it was pretty fun. So we got a Clefable and a Shedinja lead here, and I was thinking maybe we're going to try and work something with Wonder Guard or Mimic or something like that. I wasn't really sure. So we're going to go for Pollen Puff here as my signature move and Beat Up for Sneasel's signature move or former signature move. I'm going to go for Trick on Clefable there, and I'm going to go for Hail to get rid of the Shedinja here. Now this was a max speed, a max attack Sneasel, and my Ribombee was a max special attack and max speed set there with Timid Nature and Jolly Nature on the Sneasel. So we're going to go for a trick there. I'm going to give the Clefable a boiled egg, and I'm going to get a Citrus Berry. So that was a pretty good compromise there. I mean, I did miss out my breakfast though. So Clefable now has a boiled egg, right? I went for the Hail there to get rid of the Shedinja in a one shot. It's going to be going for a Hone Claws there, boosting its attack and accuracy one stage. So I was like, that's fine. It's going to go down to Hail, so that's a very good start to the battle. So getting buffeted by Hail there, and I noticed that Shedinja never got buffeted by Hail. It's got safety goggles, so that's why it didn't faint. So now I'm going to go for the Taunt on the Clefable here. I don't want it to use like Follow Me or any more status moves there, and that is going to stop it using Cosmic Power. Now Shedinja is going to go for another Hone Claws there, giving it a +2 in attack now after those boosts. So I probably need to take this one out. Now I've got Ribombee with Pollen Puff here. I thought I want to hit it a little bit harder, so I'm going to go for Quiver Dance here and boost it up. Now we got the Alakazam coming in, so that's an interesting swap in. And Shedinja is going to go for the Shadow Sneak, almost taking Ribombee out there. However, I'm going to eat the handy Citrus Berry I stole from the Clefable earlier in exchange for a boiled egg, and I'm going to heal myself right up. So now we're going to go for Quiver Dance here, boosting my special attack and speed. Now I was a little bit worried about this matchup here. I was like, okay, well, does Alakazam have anything to take me out here with? Can it outspeed me? I mean, I can take it out with Pollen Puff, but what if it's got some item like a Focus Sash? I kind of want my Ribombee for a little bit later on there. So it wasn't really meant to be a super big sweeper. I was more using, you know, After You and Pollen Puff, those sort of things. So I swapped it out. I had a little bit of a bad feeling about that coming in. So I swapped it out and went into Golospod, right? This only attacking move is First Impression. Now the Alakazam swapped and the Lucario came in. I knew something was fishy there. Unfortunately, right, my Sneasel went for a beat up, right, on the Alakazam. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, it's not very effective. That's fine. You can always attack it again, right? And this had Justified. So I'm going to be hitting this a load of times, right? So every dark move I landed on it, right, it got a +1 in an attack. I was like, oh, this is a disaster. I do have something up my sleeve to try and take it out, but this is really bad. Now, on the Golospod, right, I've got a First Impression set, max attack and max speed. I actually run a speedy set here, and a couple of other status moves. Now, I've got the item as eject button. I've also got its ability too, so I want to try and eject it out of the battle as much as possible so I can keep using First Impression, you know, every time I swap it in. Obviously, you can't use it in succession unless you Dynamax it, right? So, doing a couple more beat-ups. I think there's like beat-up number 6 there, on the 69 on the Lucario there, and it does a sizable chunk of its health. Now we're going to get a little bit of hail damage to the Golospod and the Lucario and the Machamp here. Now at this moment when I was doing this battle, right, I had like a phone call, right, and I had to rush off there. So I actually had 2 randomly picked moves, being First Impression and Beat Up, and they both went for the Machamp as I raced back to the battle, right. So unfortunately, I couldn't actually target the Lucario like I wanted it to. So I was like, oh, this is a disaster. I'm going to get absolutely destroyed here, right? So now Lucario is going to go for a Meteor Match, and Sneasel is going to get absolutely destroyed there. Like, even with like no attack EVs, and I reckon no attack EVs at all, and maybe even a hindering nature would have taken out Sneasel, right? So Machamp's going to go for a Dynamic Punch here. It's not going to do a lot of damage. However, I've got the eject button, right? which is going to eject me right out of the battle, enabling me to use First Impression again when I swap it in. But it gets good, people. It gets real good here. Now, the next Pokemon I'm going to swap in is Ribombee. Now, remember at the start I was talking about it being a After You set as well. So I thought I may as well try and make use of that, right? So the Hail is going to dry up there. No more Raining Salt. And the next Pokemon we got is Victini. So Victini we got as a former signature move is a V-Create. And the other Pokemon to get this move is Rayquaza as an event. So, just thought I'd say, the other Pokemon that actually got that move. So we're going to go for a V-Create and we're going to go for After You. So making sure Ribombee goes first and then obviously Victini is going to go right after there. I wasn't sure whether Lucario would outspeed me or not, so I had to go for that play. And that is going to get rid of the +6 Lucario. That was scary. I actually thought they made Dynamax there, and I was still confident I could take Lucario with the V-Create, whether it Dynamaxed or not, right? So I've got the White Herb as the item there, so obviously for those drops. Now Machamp is going to go for Heavy Slam, and Ribombee is going to be going down there. Definitely going down. That would have destroyed me. So bye-bye Ribombee, but it was a good thing I actually swapped that out, right? I knew something was fishy with that Alakazam coming in there. Next Pokemon we got is, of course, Golisopod, and Alakazam's kind of come in. So, okay, they know that I've got First Impression. This is an interesting swap in. Like, are they going to do something scummy again? I mean, they don't have a lot of Pokemon to swap in here, so I was kind of curious what they're going to do. So I went for First Impression on the Alakazam. I'm going to go first right there. But, of course, it's got a Focus Sash as its item. So, I knew they wouldn't swap that in for no reason, right? Now, Lucario, Alakazam is going to go for a nasty plot, which is pretty nasty. They're really lucky I don't have something like Sucker Punch or Aqua Jet, because I could easily take that out from here. Now, Victini is going to go for the V-Create, and that's going to take out the Machamp. So that's pretty good there, getting rid of that Pokemon. Now, this set, right, was sort of based around with the Victini. I had like a couple of status moves on there, which are pretty cool. I had Guard Swap, so I could swap the guard around when obviously my defense and stuff dropped, so I could do that. And I also had Speed Swap on there too. So a couple of other fun little status moves to go with. So we're going to swap out the Victini. Got a couple of drops there. I don't really want to, obviously get outsped there either. And Golisopod is going to get destroyed by a +2 Psychic there. So bye-bye Golisopod. Now we got the Clefable going for another Cosmic Power here. Now I did have an idea how to get around this Clefable, or maybe cause it a little bit of trouble, right? So this is like Moody Octillery. Its signature move is, former signature move is Octazooka. So that was the first Pokemon and only Pokemon to get Octazooka for a while. Next Pokemon we got is Meowth. Now Meowth signature or former signature move is going to be Payday. So we've got a Hypnosis, Hone Claws, Payday substitute set with Technician, Max Speed and Max Attack, Jolly Nature. So I went for the Octazooka on the Clefable here because Moody actually enabled me to get a +1 in Special Attack. However, Alakazam is going to be going for my Octillery and it's going to one-shot me there. Nothing I could do. I was kind of hoping it would go for my Meowth there because I got Focus Sash as the item. So taking Alakazam out there with the Disrespect Payday, you got to get your bread sometimes, people, and Alakazam is going to be fainting. Now, we've got a couple more Pokemon here. We've got the Clefable just spamming Cosmic Power. Now, the last Pokemon was a little bit of a trouble here. However, I did have a really, really cool idea. It was risky, though, because obviously either of us haven't Dynamax yet. So someone was going to Dynamax really, really soon, right? Now, we got the Hypnosis on the Meowth landing on Clefable. So I just wanted to get rid of that for a while in case there had any other scummy moves that I didn't really want to deal with, right? So Clefable is now safe. Victini, I went for the skill swap here. I thought if it uses a Water type move on my Victini, right, I could get Water Absorb and then absorb the move, and I absorbed the Steam Eruption. That was Galaxy Brain there, people. Only up in right now. So now, right, they can't land a Water type move on me because I've got Water Absorb, Victini, Hacker Explosion, right. Now they're going to hit the Desperation Dynamax button. I was thinking, I wonder what they're going to do to me. So they could possibly have Earth Power. I'm thinking of the other special moves that are good on Volcane. Or they could have like a Poison type move to bolster their special attack too. I'd say they've got Steam Eruption and something like Fire Blast or Flamethrower, right? That's obviously they're going to have their dual stabs, right? So Volcane is going to be Dynamax here. Meowth outspeeds, puts the Volcane to sleep. So we've got both of them closing their peepers right now. And now what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to add some salt to the wound. We're going to go for Guard Swap, getting those Cosmic Power boosts off the Clefable and giving them to my Victini. Man, they got played like an absolute fiddle there. So we're going to have to Fable falling asleep, and there is the giant salty baby bottle, people. Hope you enjoyed the first doubles battle. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish it because the opponent rage quitted there, but beautiful play at the end there. Hope you enjoyed the doubles battle. Next battle we have, this is a single battle. This one was against Mr. Guzzlord, and this was a pretty interesting battle. And also, my opponent was running a theme team. I want to see if you can guess what this one is. So we got an Applin lead here, not something you see too often. I've got a first impression matchup here, which is very, very good. It's going to be super effective, and this should be able to take this out in one shot run. Now, I thought maybe I could go for a first impression, then swap this out. I'll get hit by a move afterwards and ejected. However, Applin is going to live. I was like, damn, that's bulky. And it's going to be eating a berry there, which is going to be a citrus berry, right? Now it's going to be going for a Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor is indeed going to connect, right? And that is going to activate my eject button there, ejecting Golospod right out of the battle. That's pretty interesting. That I always found it interesting that this Pokemon got Draco Meteor, like an Apple learns Draco Meteor, only on people's channel, right? Next Pokemon to come in here, right, after swapping the Golospod out is the Rabombi. So I thought, okay, let's go for Pollen Puff, and let's get rid of this Pokemon, right? I could go for a Quiver Dance here, but just in case it's got anything else. I mean, it does have, I know its moves got like Sucker Punch, Draco Meteor. It's very, very limited, right? Now they're going to go for Sucker Punch, obviously getting a little bit more damage off before it faints, right? I went for Pollen Puff, and they got Bulletproof. You wouldn't read about it. So instead of having the other abilities, Bulletproof is going to really be a great counter. Look at this. I can't do anything. Like, I could trick it a boiled egg, only on Pinbrush channel, right? However, I want to save the boiled egg maybe for a little bit later on in the game if I get the opportunity, right? If the opportunity arises, right? Next Pokemon here is going to be Golospod coming back in, and the Appletun is going to go for a cycle, recycling that Citrus Berry all the way back up there. So I know that first impression can take this out. I know how much damage it did the first time, so they... Okay, well, even if they do swap, I got to go for first impression, right? Because it's my only attacking move. And if I don't go for it, well, I won't be able to do anything, right? Next Pokemon to slide into or hop into the battle is going to be a Venusaur, and it's called Pickle Gun. I'm like, what? What is this? So anyway, our first impression does a lot of damage there to Venusaur. He was thick. It was very, very thick. And it's going to have the Black Sludge as the item. So at this stage, I can't really do a lot. I'm thinking, well, I could go for Taunt here. If it does have any status moves, that'd be very, very good to go for. And then I could swap Golospod after, right? So go for the Taunt there on the Venusaur. And my goodness, it was a wrong move to go for Taunt because Pickle Gun's going to go for a Bullet Seed. Like, I get it, right? The Pickle Gun, like, firing, like, the bullets out of there. So Pickle Gun is going to hit me a couple of times here. I was actually hoping it would put me in my range for my ability to kick in. And it did. So that's automatically going to swap my Golospod out. And not only that, they got, like, a full range of 5 hits too. So that was really lucky. So Emergency Exit is going to kick in there. Golospod's going to Baby Bottle. And the next Pokemon to come in there is Victini. So, like, this is very good. Now, Victini was very, very good against the team because simply I could use V-Create a lot of the time, right? The only thing about using V-Create over and over, obviously you get your stats would drop and you come more like sort of vulnerable to getting Revenge KO'd, right? But in this case, I had to get rid of Pickle Gun there, and Venusaur is going to be going down. So that's Venusaur down. However, we still have that Applin there too. I didn't think Applin would come in on this matchup. Even if it went for Sucker Punch, it wasn't going to be doing like a ginormous amount of damage. Now, this is a different item I ran on the Victini this time. This time, instead of White Herb, I ran Eject Pack. So since my stats got dropped, it ejects the Victini out of the battle. So obviously, I won't have those drops, right? Next Pokemon to come in is Tapu Bulu. I once again can go for a first impression with my Golospod here. I don't know what's going to really happen after that. I think Golospod is going to get absolutely Shrek, right? So I go for the first impression. It does pretty good damage to Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu also is going to have Bullet Seed. And with the grassy terrain here, right, Golospod is not going to be able to stand a ghost of a chance, right? Now, bye-bye Golospod, you did pretty good. Like, it got a couple of first impressions off there. It was very hard to run that Golospod set, only having first impression as an attacking move, right? I constantly had to swap it, so that's why I ran those items and those strategies, right, with Substitute and Rest. I could possibly get all my health back, the opponent could hit me below there, and I could swap out again. That was sort of the strategy with the Golospod set. Next Pokemon to come in here is Victini. I'm going to go for V-Create here again, because it's super effective, and Tapu Bulu is going to get tapped right out of this game, right, which is good. So, bye-bye to that Pokemon. So that's 2 Pokemon now with Bullet Seed. And there was an Applin with Bulletproof. Maybe you might be able to see what's going on here. Now, the next Pokemon to come in here is another Lucario. So, oh no. I'm getting PTSD from that first battle with the Justified set. So with this stage, right, I don't want to get outspeed here. I was like, nah, I'm going to swap the Victini out here. I smell a rat. So now we're going to go into Ribombee, right? I thought I might be able to trick this an item or do something fun here. Will they expect a steel type move? I doubt it. Then they went for a copycat. Copycat is going to copy the V-Create, and it's going to use it on my Ribombee. So V-Create, Lucario, Hacker Exposed on my Ribombee, taking it out in one shot. That was just cruel. That was so cruel there. Very nice, very nice. Copycat Lucario. So bye-bye Ribombee. You got absolutely destroyed there. Now what I can do, right, since the coast is clear, I can swap in my own Victini and hit the Lucario back with another V-Create. I don't think my opponent really wants to swap into a V-Create either. So the Lucario is going to go for a Bullet Punch there on my Victini, doing a small amount of damage, and a V-Create is going to take it out there. I think my opponent is also limiting themselves to certain types of moves too. Like, I guess you're probably able to say, I don't want to spoil it, but you probably got a good idea what is going on right now. So Lucario is going to be fainted there. So we got Applin and we got two other Pokemon here. So getting a little bit of health recovery there from the grassy terrain as well. And in comes the Applin once again. So like, okay, let's just go for a different move here, right? It's going to be go for a Grassy Glide, which is pretty cool. I went for Guard Swap. So that's going to give Applin the negative defense drops that I got from using V-Create earlier on, right? Now Victini is going to be more bulkier than it was before. Well, it's basically going to get its normal stats right. Now Applin is not going to be as bulky as it was before, and it's going to have to take a very powerful V-Create here, which it definitely is not going to be able to do. So Applin is finally going to go down there, man. It's not often you see Applin survive for such a long time in the battle. It was so funny though, Ribombee only had Pollen Puff, right? And I literally could do nothing to that step. Now the next Pokemon to come in here, right, is Scizor. I was like, wait, I do have a speed drop there, so I'm going to swap that out. I know that I can take Scizor out with a fire type move. However, I just want to play things safe because you never know, right? Especially after the Copycat Lucario. Now, the next move is Bullet Punch there. Obviously, it's going to be all after that sort of theme. And Octillery is going to get a Moody boost in its attack, which is a bit of a shame right there. Special Defense is going to drop. I could go for a Protect here, but I thought it's probably not going to save me too much. Let's go for an Octazooka, right? Now, Scizor is going to go for a Sword Dance here. I'm assuming it's probably got something like Sword Dance, Bullet Punch, maybe Roost or something like that to sort of fit in with the theme, right? So Octazooka gets an Axie Drop, which is very good right there. And Octillery is going to get a Special Defense Rise. And unfortunately, I get a Defense Drop. Man, this is rough, right? Scizor could easily take me out here with a Bullet Punch. I don't really want to swap Victini in or anything else in either, so I got to let Octillery go there. Unfortunately, it didn't do a lot in both of these battles, but some of the other battles I had, it did really well. They just weren't super amazing battles. So we got the Scizor swapping out here. Obviously very scared of the V-Create. And we got Machoke coming in here. So like, okay, Little Gun. Is that for its guns on its arms? I mean, I'd be pretty happy if I had guns like that. Wait, I do. So go for the V-Create there. It does very good damage, right? Doesn't take it out though. So it's probably an Everlight set, right, I'd say. Now it's going to be go for a Bullet Punch here. So they've all got, most of them have got Bullet Punch or a Bullet sort of move there. And Victini can once again go for another V-Create. However, I've used V-Create twice now, and my stats have dropped 2 stages. So I know this is obviously going to come back in here. I don't want to let the Scizor take me out, right? So I'm probably going to be doing a swap here into one of my other Pokemon. This is definitely going to be their Dynamax Pokemon too. Now, so far, I've only seen Sword Dance and Bullet Punch, right? So I know it's going to have Max Steel Spike in Dynamax. Next Pokemon to come in is my Sneasel. I was like, let's see what I can do with this set. I'm at a very huge disadvantage here. I wonder if they'll go for Sword Dance or just straight up Dynamax with the Scizor, right? So Scizor is going to be go for the Dynamax indeedy, and I'm not sure if I'm trying to think if it's got any other like moves to like Bullet. So it's got Bullet Punch. I can't think any off the top of my head at the moment. Like Vacuum Wave, no, not really. That's not really. That's a vacuum, not a gun. And no, it's gonna go for the Max Steel Spike on my Sneasel and take it out. I mean, I had to swap anyway, and I mean, what could Sneasel really do to a Scizor anyway with Vita, right? So bye Sneasel. Now I thought, okay, well this might be a good opportunity to send in my Meowthia. I've got a Focus Sash. I could definitely stall out the last 2 turns of Dynamax. Plus, I can maybe pop a Hypnosis off. And I did. It landed on Scizor. Scissor is going to close its big red peepers there, and it's going to be sleeping, right? Now this is going to give me the opportunity to go for a Dynamax Meowth. However, the Scissor wakes up and gets a max guard off. Like, oh man, that sucks. So go for the Home Claws here, getting a +1 in attack. Now I can go for the G-Spot Gold Rush, right? And hopefully get a Scummy Confusion. Well, that was my thoughts and hopes anyway. So Scissor is now out of its Dynamax there, thanks to the Sneasel and the Meowth using Hypnosis. And I'm going to be going for the G-Max Meowth. Now, G-Max Gold Rush is obviously not going to do lots and lots of damage to Scissor, right? Even at +1, like Meowth's attack stat isn't really, the greatest in the world, right? Now, if you look closely at Meowth's little, like on its coin, right, you see the little, little picture on there. I swear it looks like a Victory Bell. Like, I'm not sure if you can see it on your own game, but it sort of looks like a Victory Bell's arms. You'll never be able to unsee that again. So now we're going to get hit by the Bullet Punch. Does a lot of damage there. Go for the G-Max Gold Rush. Now, it doesn't do a lot of damage. However, it does confuse my opponent, right? Which is what I wanted. Then I can possibly keep going for it and then maybe put it to sleep with Hypnosis again, right? So here, Scissor is going to get confused. However, it busts through that confusion and Meowth is going to get bulleted right out of this battle. My last Pokemon is the Victini, which I was saving purely for this Scissor once it was out of Dynamax, and of course once it was weakened and I'd figure out the whole set. I can simply go for a V-Create here, outspeed and take it out. Scissor is going to be confused here. It went for a Bullet Punch, however, it is going to hit itself in confusion. There's no way Bullet Punch would have taken him out there, even with a crit. But thank you for the battle, Mr. Gutsword. A very, very cool team there, and I hope you enjoyed both these battles, people. I'll be back tomorrow with, I think we got an Alphabet team tomorrow. I think it's Alphabet letter S tomorrow. S for, I can't remember. Snake. See you, people.